This is an iPad. You've probably all seen one before. Awesome for game playing, shopping, movies, all kinds of cool stuff, but actually a really powerful business tool with good software. PowerPoint, Keynote, PDFs, not good software for the iPad. Grossly underutilizes all of the magical stuff that this device can do. I run a company called StoryDesk. We build iPad apps for enterprise that they use as sales and marketing tools with a twist. All of our apps are connected to a web-based content management system, which lets somebody with no technical expertise, like me, go in, change up, update, modify a native iPad app, push it out to a sales team instantly. So let's have a look at an app for Ridge Diagnostics. This is a healthcare company in San Diego. They sell a blood test for depression. I've already logged in. The app knows that Jordan Stolper is logged in at 42nd, 5th, or wherever we are. There's back-end analytics that measure everything that's going to happen here. We're going to talk to Dr. Smith. So we're going to measure how long my meeting with Dr. Smith is. If I know exactly where I want to go, I can navigate in a linear way, or I can double tap on the screen and get to any screen that I need to in the entire app. Okay, so XY navigation throughout. And our basic MO is if you can do it in PowerPoint, we don't want anything to do with it. We build interactivity into every component of the iPad app, because ultimately an iPad app is like putting a cup of Play-Doh in front of a little kid. You want to play with it. You want to mess around with it. And if you can't do that, you're deeply disappointed. So great little things like this, which ultimately keep me in control of the conversation and keep somebody interested in what we're doing, fundamentally changes the way that we present information and get people excited about what we're doing. So what you're looking at, clinical utility score, the MDD, whatever that means, that's a StoryDesk module, okay? That's controlled by the web. That can be changed out for the top 5 reasons I like cheeseburgers right here, right now, okay? It's a native iPad app. The content is HTML5 that caches locally. So it works whether we're connected to the internet or not. Let's look at a few other things that are really cool. But basically, we're able to, with a combination of some good design and thinking, take really complex information and make it bearable in the form of a presentation. And that's really exciting because there isn't a single one of us who's dying for our next PowerPoint presentation. But if you put something in front of us that I can mess around with, then suddenly it becomes a hell of a lot more compelling. So a couple of minor things we've built into this, which I think are pretty exciting. You can take notes anywhere in the presentation. Those are captured as part of the sales call. We can bookmark stuff in the presentation. We can bolt on PDFs and other documents. So if you have things that you want to leave behind, you can drop those into the app really easily. This is changing the way that these businesses are able to communicate with their customers. Let me show you an app for another client. So this is for Hugo Boss. Again, the idea is they've got sales and biz dev people in a B2B scenario. They want to be able to send them out in the field with something that's exciting and compelling. These handsome people can be switched out for other handsome people next quarter by somebody at Hugo Boss who is not a developer. Okay, so they're not calling us and saying, hey, we need to change the people out. So to the right, a gallery of presentations. Okay, these are basically apps within the app. Again, they can be controlled centrally by an administrator who can decide that reps 1 through 7 get these presentations and 8 through 12 get those. Let's go into this. Nice motion graphic entry. This is who we're presenting to. That can be switched out too. To a linear table of contents. Beautiful infographics that are dynamic. Those circles change based on the size of the number. Bolted in an Excel spreadsheet behind it. This is a wonderful interactive module. Okay, on PowerPoint this would be 3 screens, and each more boring than the next. Okay, if I'm in control of it, so I can now focus the conversation on this, and you have to look at it until I'm done talking about it. Okay, and then when it's time, I can move to the next thing. So ultimately, it puts me in control of the conversation. It you're dying to know what's behind door number 3, okay? Move to the right, and we can build video into these also really easily, and they're remotely managed. So really cool stuff, but what makes it especially cool is that all this is managed from here. So let's go to desktop. Slight aspect ratio change here. It's going to be a little.
Can I ask a practical question as you're doing this? Like, does the sales rep carry the device, or are you giving the device to the customer that you're interacting with, or how does that interact?
I have this conversation a lot. It's it depends. There's not. What's the right resolution for this? Anyone? 800 by 600. That'll work.
No, it didn't work over here.
You're gonna have to look on this side then. Is that goofy? It's a little goofy. All right. Well, we can survive. Short answer is sometimes they're handing it to the client to mess around with. Sometimes they're doing it together. Sometimes it's on a projector. Sometimes they're two people who shouldn't be sitting close together are awkwardly sitting close together using an iPad. My vision for this is ultimately, if we've done our job well, that you can hand this to somebody and they can start basically having a self-guided tour, and the rep can ideally just sit there and not say anything, right?
I want that job.
So this is the world's first content management system designed just for the iPad. It's, let's zoom out a little bit, that'll be a little better. It's as clear as day how this works, okay? I tap into something, I want to make a change of our technologist. Okay, I can do this with photos, text, videos, documents, anything we need to. I hit send to iPad. Okay, cool. Gonna log out. Well, let's have a look around this some more. This is HTML5. This works in any Java-enabled browser. It's all WYSIWYG. It's designed for content input. The front end, the design is locked in. So nobody can go off the rails and get too creative in their presentations, okay? But this can all be content managed here. It can also be content managed actually from the iPad within Safari. So I've made that little change. Let's hit, we already hit send to iPad. Okay, that's great. We'll log out. We will go back to the iPad. We'll open up StoryDesk. We will double tap. We will update the app. It's going to pull down all the content from the cloud. It's all on Amazon. It's all secure. We can do tiered permissions, so some people can log in. If they get fired, we can deactivate it. This lives nicely within comprising our technologists. The content change has been made. We're off to the races. That is StoryDesk, ladies and gentlemen. Any questions? Yes?
To what extent can you put in interactive infographics?
Interactive infographics.
Charts and things like that that you can actually explain and explore.
Yeah, to the maximum extent.
Okay.
Yeah.
What sort of technology?
What sort of technology? So on the iOS side, it's hard coded. It's Objective C. The content is being managed here. We can basically say, okay, we'll have a look at this one actually. This isn't connected to live data, but it can be connected to live data, okay? So that's a boring bar chart. It can get more interesting than that. That answer your question? Others? All right. Thanks very much, everyone.
So let's give another round of applause for all the demos tonight.